So we can say there are 3 layers to the body. We have the skin, the fascia, which is this internal skin around the muscles. Then we have the muscles and tendons, the things that make us move. And then deepest of all, we have the bones, the skeleton. But really it goes deeper than that. Inside the bones, they are hollow. We have the bone marrow, which is another fluid. And there we have also new blood being created. So new blood comes from deep inside the bones. The bones are crystalline, but organic crystal. You see, these crystals grow very geometrically, always the same, very simple. But this is an organic substance and it grows different all the time. But it's still a crystalline structure holding together, a solid. But because it's different, the crystals are always growing slightly different every time. It's like a recording, a memory. So you can also say your bones hold memories. They're literally locked in the hardware. It's like you're writing a hard drive when the bones are growing, little bit at a time. And a crystalline structure is very resonant. It's hard. Like these, if you knock a crystal, it will ring like a bell. It will resonate. So bones are the same. So it resonates with a high frequency. And actually crystals resonate with the highest frequency, thought energy itself, aetheric energy, spiritual energy. That also resonates in crystals and in bones. So bones, you can say, hold our spirit. The consciousness is also in the bones. The bones are like the hard drive. Crystals are also piezoelectric. That means if you squeeze them, they generate an electric charge. So they actually create electricity from a crystal if you crush it, you squeeze it, you move it, or you vibrate it. So your bones are moving crystals. And in fact, when we activate the muscles, we're squeezing on the bones, stretching the bones. And if we can do this in training, you're actively activating this piezoelectricity in the bones, generating electricity. And it will flow through the bones. So the bones, not only do they resonate with spiritual energy, they also allow electricity or create electricity. And look at it like this. You see all these crystals I've got on my table. If I align them, move them just a little bit, get them in just the right place so that the energy will flow around this structure, suddenly we will have more energy. If all these crystals were misaligned, random, they've still got energy, each one in its own right, but the movement of energy is not so efficient. If I align them just right, see these 3 in a line, it will go one into the other, into the other. It's exactly like electricity. If you have a wire and a plug, you must connect the wires together. These crystals are like wires. You have to connect them all together, then energy will flow. So we have that in our body, our bones. If we can put them just in the right position, align them correctly, the energy can flow better through them. We can generate electricity and create a strong current through the bones. But it's also, most importantly, etheric energy, the spiritual energy, the feeling. You feel it in the bones. Now, it's very difficult to hold your bones correctly all the time because there's so many external forces acting upon you. Most importantly is gravity. We're always being pulled down. So if I sit here, I go down. The bone structure collapses due to gravity. And usually that goes out of alignment. You've lost your positioning. So that's why it's difficult. The first thing we have to do is fight against gravity. So I'm sitting here. I have to do it all the time. We always forget. But the more you practice, the more subconscious it becomes. And in time, what happens is the energy will do it for you. because the bones have got so much power and they're so used to it. It's like these crystals, if they were magnets, whoop, they would all fit together. So that's what we want. In time, there's more energy in the bones, and it reminds you, oh yeah, stand up. But until then, I have to remember, try and sit straight, get the spine in the correct alignment, the natural alignment, the optimum positioning for energy flow. And there will be a position. It's going to be very slightly different for each one of us, but the same principle. You know, the spine will have to be in an S curve, just right, like there's no forces acting upon it. You see, when there's gravity, it collapses, so I have to hold it as if there is no gravity. I'm floating in space. Now, if I were floating in space, all the bones would also separate. They would stretch out a little bit. Gravity is compacting down. But if I'm floating, I stretch. I'm floating, the bones will separate. Like these crystals. The fact, because they are all separate, it has another effect. There's more power. In the gap, in the space, we're building up a potential. There's like an energy build-up, a magnetic field building up in the space between the crystals. So the same in my bone structure. Each bone is generating energy, but in the joint. This is the point. Between the bones, if I open up the joints, there's a space there created between the two bones. And it's generating this ball of energy, a magnetic field, a battery, a static charge. And we want that. Because now we have the bones generating energy and these bubbles of energy in the joints that are building up static charge. And they're all connected. So the energy can flow through the bones and through the joints. So the idea of this body efficiency training is to get the skeletal alignment just right. And the most simple, basic, original posture I call the neutral stance or the neutral posture. And it's the position, it's the halfway position of all of the joints. So your elbows are bent halfway, not all the way this way, not straight, just halfway. The shoulders halfway, they're rotated halfway. Everything is about halfway, and the spine is exactly neutral in its S curve. And this is the position you would have if you were floating in space. No gravity and no internal forces, no body tension. If you have tension, of course, you move out of alignment. That's the other problem we've got. Not only is gravity pulling us down, we have cramp in the body locking us out of alignment. So the bones are fixed in a bad position. The energy cannot flow. So we have to unlock the cramp. We have to relax, loosen up, and then expand, float into space. Let all the bones open up, separate. Then also they are mobile. If the joint is open, you have this bubble of energy building up, a magnetic field. You have now frictionless motion. Remember, a joint is friction. If you have a magnetic field separating the joint, this is called frictionless motion. And again, this is what they're trying to build in a train, levitating train, so it's frictionless. But we can do it in the body. So now you have the mobility, you can then align properly. You have to work at it, feel it. Concentrate on the feeling inside your body, because when you get it right, you feel it. Oh, that's just nice. It feels right, but you have to keep working at it, because as soon as you move, you collapse. But now I have to work at finding the optimum position inside my bones for whatever the external position of my body is. So if I reach out with one hand, I have to get the spine right, the shoulder right, extend the arm, the fingers. Then now if I do it, I've got a flow of energy through the bones. And the bones are aligned properly, so force will transmit nicely. I mean mechanical force. If the bones are out of alignment, mechanical force won't transmit. You will collapse. Your structure will fall down. It will break. So the bones are the foundation. And it's the foundation of this training that I'm doing here, body efficiency training, is getting the correct alignment of your bone structure. And once you get that, we do the breathing, but that's coming a bit later. And the bones, remember, are crystal. So when you get all the crystals in just the right position, and you can generate electricity, and now you've got this charge, this ball, this magnetism in the joints. Now the joints can move fluidly. You have magnetic frictionless motion. But with that, you must maintain the optimum alignment of the bones so that the energy can transmit. Then you feel it and flow with it. So that is the basis of the training. And because it's the bones, remember that is etheric energy, thought energy, spiritual energy. You can also visualize it. You will see light, the consciousness, awareness. If the awareness is in your bones, it will come all the way to your fingertips. My fingertips must have awareness. It's not just my brain. Again, I've talked about the brain, but the brain connects to the bones through the bone marrow. I'm going to talk more about that soon. But it means awareness is in the bones. The memories are in the bones. But again, it doesn't matter. The bones are crystal. They transmit any type of energy. And what you have to do is allow that energy to move smoothly through the crystal. So it's always changing, easy to move. But consciousness is in the bone structure. That's why we have to practice. I have to feel it. I'm getting my bones right, feeling inside, feeling right down to the fingertips. Consciousness, awareness, inside the bones. It's an internal feeling. It's the etheric energy, which is your soul, your consciousness itself, your feelings and emotions. That is feelings. And I'm going to talk more about emotions soon as well. So I hope this made sense. Thank you so much again for listening. Please do leave me any questions or comments, and stay tuned for the rest of the series on the living body. And do check the description about my new book, all about the ether. So thank you so much again, and I look forward to seeing you in any of these other videos here.